What's up, guys? All right, let me know what the music's like. The music should be pretty good. What's up, guys? All right, all right. Oh, we're awake. Yeah. So we ended up buying the dip in the nasdaq here. So if you look at the Dow's down a lot, Nasdaq's down a lot. Not a crazy amount, but we bought the dip yesterday. So we bought the nasdaq at 516. So we bought it right here, and we are now pretty green in it. Look at that. So we're almost at 520 now. So we bought the nasdaq dip. Now we're up. I'll take it. SPY's still down a significant amount here. Here's Tesla at 450. Tesla's back up. So again, we ended up dropping from the FOMC meeting. Like, you see this thing, man. Like, traders are so emotional. Like, we could be in one of the strongest long-term trends. Like, look at this. Like, you put a 4-hour chart up. Like, look at this trend right here. Like, literally, look at this trend. But yet, we're in this trend, and yet this happens and people start to act like we're genuinely like crashing. Like, guys, like, take your head out of the sand a little bit here. Like, come on now. Like, everything's not a crash. And I told people this before. If you think we're going to crash every single FOMC meeting, you're probably new. At least to paying attention to FOMC meetings. We're down a little bit, but it's certainly not some crazy drop. And I think a lot of people would argue it was time to pull back some. Now, I don't know if this sparks a longer term bear move, but yeah, we're definitely down. Rip to my crypto. Where's Bitcoin at? And we're pretty green on it. So we bought some shares of the Q yesterday, and then we took some off immediately after it bounced back. We bought it at like 415s, 416s. Or I'm sorry, 515s, 516s. Ended up selling. I'm not sure where we sold we sold a third of the position, and now we have 2/3 of the original position left. If we look at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin's still over 100K too. It's still at like 103s. It dipped all the way down to 98K for a little bit, but came right back up. So it's fine as well. People got to stop sensationalizing markets. Yeah, for sure. Amazon workers, that's a tough job. At least that's what I hear. All right, today we got GDP data and jobless claims unemployment filings going live at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. GDP is expected at almost 3% at 2.9%. Jobless claims unemployment filings are expected at 230,000. The lower the jobless claims numbers are, the better for economic growth and stability in the economy. The more people working and spending, especially after yesterday, where one of the reasons the market is dropping today, and yesterday really, one of the reasons the market dropped yesterday is because Jerome Powell said there was weakness in the labor market. He said there was weakness in the labor market, which honestly is probably better for inflation. The market does this weird thing where sometimes it reacts negatively to strength in the labor market, and sometimes it reacts negatively to weakness in the labor market. In the end, it's good in a couple ways. Specifically, it means the Fed's more likely to cut rates continuously, leading into January, February, March. It's more likely that the Fed's going to be dovish if we show economic and labor weakness. That's number one. So it's more probable that they're going to cut if we do have weak jobs data. The other thing is that it does combat inflation to a certain extent, right? So if the jobs report comes in weak, yeah, inflation typically can get better. And so I don't necessarily think it's some terrible thing like a lot of people apparently do. But everybody's different, Yeah, maybe Phil, it's possible. It is possible that we shift down. Yeah, look at the NASDAQ pop up here. So again, we bought the Q. We're in the Q right now. We bought the Q at 515s. We're now at 520s. So a good little strategic dip buy here for me. Honestly, we just got so red yesterday. I was like, hey, I have to buy a little bit of this. I can't help myself. Like, I gotta buy at least a little bit of this. And we're honestly pretty green again today, this morning. We're green on our Bitcoin ETF, Alibaba. We're green on today. Amazon, we're super green today. AMD, we're green today. Although we're red on some of these positions overall, but we're green total. We're still green on our position list, which just means that I bought it at a really good time a week or two ago for most of these. Let me check the chat here. And we did a poll, so vote on the poll. Let me know how you feel. 73% think GDP comes in strong today. 27% think it comes in weak. Moave? Or is it mauve? I always thought it was mauve, personally, you know. But other people in the chat are telling me it's something different. Hold on, let me see.
Mauve.
Mauve, yeah, it is mauve. I've always known it's mauve. I've had it right this whole time.
Mauve.
But apparently there's a British pronunciation, which you might be going off of, Sam, which is
Mauve.
mauve. Hello. All right, sorry, I'm sorry. My last name's London. I can't make fun of the British too much, you know. My last name's London. Yeah, markets dump, reduce the number of projected rate cuts 2025 42. Yeah, for sure. But I think they also dropped on labor market weakness, right? Like, that's one of the things Powell said over and over again, is that the labor market was weak. But what you're referencing here, Beach Bum, is, let me find it. This projection material where they don't think they're going to cut as much next year. Here's 2025. They're still going to cut, though. And I think the real estate market might heat up into next year. We'll see, though. Honestly, look at my Q investment, though. Or I don't even know if it's an investment. I'm just going to call it a swing trade. Look at my Q swing trade, man. Again, I bought it down here at 515s. It's now up to 520 plus. So, beautiful rebound. I'm tempted to take a little bit of profit here already. As a Brit, I can assure you it's mauve. I gotta say it like that if I say it. Mauve. I'm gonna just call it like an American mauve. Like, that's how we call things, okay? It's like aluminium and aluminum, okay? I'm gonna stick with aluminum because that's what I was taught. And we Americans have changed English. So I'm gonna stick with how we say it. Because if I start genuinely, if I go out there and I start saying aluminium, hey, look at this aluminium can, people are going to give me dirty looks. They're going to be like, what are you talking about, bro? And so, you know, sorry, guys. I understand aluminum and aluminium is two different things, right? But a common thing, or two different spellings. It's the same thing, right? It's all aluminum or aluminium, as the everybody outside of America pronounces. Outside of North America, I should say. Outside of the Americas, actually, I should probably say. They pronounce it aluminium, you know, or they say the word aluminium versus aluminum, which is what we say in the U.S. Everybody's different. All right. All right, chat. Look at the Q rip up more here, guys. Oh, I love crepes, but I'm sure it's probably pronounced something different overseas. But actually, I like pancakes more. So pancakes, crepes, I'm a pancake person. Okay. Don't judge me. All right. All right, guys. So Q bouncing back. Market dipped a lot, as you can read on the top of the screen. Yesterday, the FOMC cut rates 25 basis points. They reduced their projections of rate cuts in 2025 in the market. And they also said the labor market was weak. Weaker than anticipated is what they said, right? And so all of these things, you know, which kind of contradicts itself. Because if the labor market is weak, it might mean that they cut rates more, regardless of what their projections are, you know? And so that's what I'm looking at today. And honestly, the market's rebounding back a lot. We bought the NASDAQ at 515s. It's now over 520 now. Bitcoin back over 100K. Tesla sitting at 450. So we still have some strength this morning, although weakness yesterday. But today's economic data could influence all of it and change all of this, right? So we have PCE data tomorrow. Today we have GDP data and jobless claims unemployment filings. So these are all pretty big reports on the heels of the FOMC meeting yesterday. And it's just a thing that you probably want to pay attention to. Yeah, all good. Luck. All good. All good, Lucky. Yeah, so Amazon has the strikes, but I'm still up pretty big on Amazon today. I guess I was up even more yesterday. Is my hairline pushing back some? I guess it kind of is. It might just be matured up here. No. It's not that bad, though. It could be worse for my age. Right? Definitely getting older, though. I can see my hairline maturing a little bit. Top 3 best hairlines in the world right now. Which one? Yeah, look at this one. I don't know what this is, but it's pushing up a lot. Yeah, let me take a look. There's something's going on with this. I don't know what. It's kind of crazy. All right, shit. There's a 16 million or 16% dip. Okay, so they did a private placement offering. They did a private placement of 1.7 million units at $6 per share. They made about $10 million from it. Each unit consists of 1 share of restricted common stock and warrants exercisable for 1 1/2 of shares restricted common stock at $6 per share. They say it's with a single New York-based family office investor. So whatever that means. But yeah, basically they did like their own kind of version of an offering. And we'll see what happens. I'm going to look to see if I can find more details about this. Yeah, so it's an offering, right? But a private placement offering, as the name suggests, means they're selling it to a select group of people versus publicly. So they're still diluting the company, but in this case, they're diluting it strategically to a select group of people versus just opening it up to the public, if that makes sense. Are you going to be watching Nike after the bell? We'll probably watch it some. I'm in Nike, so like I'll be paying attention to it. I'm not going to stream it. It's just not big enough to stream, unfortunately. You know. But yeah, I'm watching this. So this is a private placement offering, but they're running up big on this. It's weird. They're up to $80 a share. I don't know what this is or what's going on. We'll watch it though. But again, I bought the Q. Q's still pushing up almost to 521s. We'll see if that continues here. So did you guys like the strategy video we put out yesterday? Like I used to make a lot of these strategy videos, but like I stopped working on videos so much. I hate editing. I'm genuinely waiting for AI software to get to a point in which it can edit for me, because I hate editing with a passion, and like I genuinely hate it. But I think like if I do have a skill set, I'm not even trying to, brag or anything like that. But I think if I do have a skill set, one of my skills, like something that I'm good at, is expressing what I'm trying to say strategically. Or not, I'm not strategically expressing what I'm saying. I'm expressing strategic things well, if that makes sense, right? So I'm able to express what I'm trying to say in an understandable way for people to like understand these strategies that I'm using. And I think if people like those videos, I'll try to work more on videos like that. And yeah, because I do love strategies, I do love back testing and all that good stuff. So if people like those videos, I'll try to work on more, as long as it continues to get good reactions. But yeah, I freaking hate editing videos, like truly. Well, yeah, I'm always going to live stream. It's not like I'm going to stop live streaming. I'm going to live stream every day. Live stream's where, where I get my views from. But we're a live streaming channel, but still. Looking at the expectations goal, we'll probably have a dip from the combo of GDP and jobless claims right now. Yeah, for sure. Dude kept saying nothing was gonna happen yesterday. Rug pull of the decade. Do you really think this is some decade? Like, look, bro, I hate to break it to you, dude, but this ain't even the rug pull of the month. This ain't even the rug pull of the quarter, I'll say. You're literally saying this, just to clarify, and this is how many rookie traders are involved in markets, right? Like, they don't understand what's a real, like, crash versus what's just a pullback or a small correction. Y'all are saying this right here is the rug pull of the decade. Is that correct? If we're talking about Bitcoin, we can talk about Bitcoin too. Like, so wait, let me get this straight. Y'all are saying this is the rug pull of the decade right here. Wow. Wow. Too many new people are here, bro. Like, come on now. You were saying yesterday nothing would happen. I didn't say nothing would happen yesterday. And again, if I did find a clip of it and send it to me, I'll watch it. But I certainly didn't say nothing would happen. I almost certainly say, I said I have no idea what's going to happen, is what I always say, because nobody freaking knows what's going to happen during these events, right? Like, we can look back at past events and try to gauge what they do into the future, but nobody freaking knows if the market's going to go up, down, or sideways from events like this. Even still, like, the NASDAQ broke all-time highs the day before yesterday, right? So whenever we break highs after highs after highs, the market's eventually going to pull back a little bit. That's normal. It needs to pull back some. It's actually a healthy thing. But acting like this is some parabolic drop, like some terrible drop of the decade, is just silly. And it's just an exaggeration because you're trying to be critical. But it's silly. And it just kind of shows, like, you got to be pretty new if you think that's the rug pull of the decade. But cheers to you, brother. It's all good. It's all love here. Hey, thank you, Sightless. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, no, so, again, I have no freaking idea what anything's going to do. And the way I run this channel, guys, like, people try to act like I said this and I said that. Again, clip it and send it to me, right? You're not going to be able to, because I never told people what anything was going to do, right? What I did say yesterday is that generally the market reacts positively to rate cuts that are preventative in nature, right? Which would be yesterday. And again, it's usually anything could freaking happen, right? But I never give out future predictions because of that, right? Like, I never give out future predictions. What I will say is that if you think the market's going to genuinely crash, and when I say crash, I mean drops 20% plus, right? If you think the market's genuinely going to crash yesterday around the FOMC meeting, you're usually a pretty rookie new trader, right? And because the market never crashes. Not only doesn't crash during the Fed meetings usually, but it doesn't crash during election years either. And this less than 2% pullback is certainly not a crash. A crash is 10x of this or more, really. And so if people think this is a crash, usually it means they're rookie traders. And if people think that we're going to crash yesterday, which we didn't, we dropped a couple percent, but it's certainly not a crash. Usually that means they're rookie traders too, and they don't pay a lot of attention to FOMC meetings. I certainly said that, and that's still honestly absolutely true. What ends up happening though is that people want to be the next big short predictor, the next big market crash predictor, and so they go through their lives in trading saying a crash is going to happen every other week, right? And they're wrong, and the market keeps breaking highs, and then they get kind of butthurt about it, and so the market keeps going up and up and up and up. And so they end up embellishing what's actually a crash. And they're so desperate to be right that if the market pulls back 1.5% like yesterday, they end up labeling that a crash just so that they can kind of claim to be right, if that makes sense. And that's something that you see a lot of the time. They're like, oh, look at this crazy crash. And it's like, yeah, they're probably just trying to be right. Because they've been wrong so much, But cheers to you guys at home. It's all love. Yeah, I have no idea what we're gonna get. Genuinely no idea what we're gonna get for GDP in an hour. The expectations are 2.8%. We also have PCE. The bigger report is honestly PCE data tomorrow, because with all the stuff going on, it's important to look at the inflation that we get. And PCE inflation is the Fed's preferred inflation metric. Right, so like PCE tomorrow is the most important event outside of FOMC on the week. And I'm up big today, guys. So just to put this into perspective, remember, I bought the Q down here at 515s yesterday after this big drop. So I bought the Q here, and we are up pretty big. I already took a third of it off, and I still have 2/3 of the position. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I did buy this dip because I thought we would rebound back up. This is just emotional drop. But again, to put it into perspective here, like if we zoom out, which I think is important, like people are literally acting like, I think it's confirmation bias. I think if people have been calling for market crashes, they want to believe everything's a market crash, right? But if you look at a 4-hour chart, we're still in a really strong trend, And we honestly confirmed the bottom of the trend down here too at the same spot. So like, look at that. And we've already rebounded about a third of the way back up too. So like, I get people want to be right, but sometimes, sometimes they just gotta understand the biggest edge is on the market is on the upside, not the downside. But everybody romanticizes like calling market crashes or whatever. It's how it goes, I think. It's an election year, 100%. And again, it's like I always say, man, if people genuinely try to say the market's going to crash this year, they don't understand the probabilities behind something like that. I mean, it's not impossible. It could happen. It's just not probable, you know. And again, the issue is that people get blinded by like influencers, for lack of a better word, and influencers, they watch movies like The Big Short and they like romanticize it and idolize people that predict it, even though like being able to profit from a market crash in that big of a way, like The Big Short, is so rare. They literally made a movie romanticizing it because it's so freaking rare, you know. And so I think, but I think that type of thing ends up wrapping traders into this mindset of trying to pick the tops of the market, which is the lowest edge you could ever have, right? Like the biggest edge you'll ever have is buying pullbacks, honestly, in markets, and holding long-term, dollar cost averaging into index funds long-term. Best edge you'll ever have in anything in finance, really. But you know, all these traders are just kind of misled into trying to top pick the market, and it's dumb, for lack of a better word. It's just dumb. I'm not saying some people can do it, but it's certainly not most people. Yet a lot of people are trying, and they're losing, and they're getting mad, and they're trying to label things like yesterday a crash just to be right. And like, I mean, okay, but Q's still running back up. Look at this. You love to see it. Again, my average price in the Q is 5/16s. So we're in 5/16s for the Q. We'll take it. I don't know if Powell's going to be kicked out next year. Maybe. Yeah, and I never said people are expecting a reaction. I said people expect this big market crash, and it never comes, right? You know how many people have told me the market was going to crash during the FOMC meeting? Literally every freaking FOMC meeting, somebody says the market's going to crash, and it never does, right? And this is not a crash yesterday, guys. Again, this is less than 2% drop. Very small. Market's up 50% on the year, you know? A crash is dropping 30% in a day or two, you know, maybe more, maybe a little bit less, but it's certainly not what we got yesterday. And so secure opening, like, he's just trying to criticize. Again, he's one of those guys that he just really wants to be right, but he's wrong, you know. He called it the rug pull of the decade. So I mean, yeah, it's certainly not that. Yeah, correction's fine. You can call it a correction. But it's a small correction at that, I would say. I don't even know if you labeled it a correction. Like, let me see. Okay, so yeah, this is not a correction either. So just to put this into perspective, in the stock market, a correction, like long term, refers to at least 10%, but less than 20%, right? And so we are down 1.5% yesterday, give or take. Right now, we're down less than that, right? We're down like 1% yesterday. And so this isn't even a correction. This is not even near a correction. And that's my overarching point I'm trying to make here. And the point is, just don't sensationalize the markets. Everyone should listen to what you just said. Yeah. Literally rookies. Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes, bro. Again, it's the Dunning-Kruger effect, dude. The people who have the least experience are the most critical, and, like, that's just kind of how it goes. It's all good. I get it, you know. Let them be critical. It's fine. I just hope people don't get blinded by that. Like, the only reason I'm even spending time talking about it is because I think what I said afterwards, people need to hear. Like, people need to understand. Like, if you go around every major economic event calling for a market crash, you're going to be wrong over and over again, right? Like, eventually you'll be right. But are you really right in that situation? Like, are we really below where you originally called it? And usually that's not the case. An example is like if the SPY's at 500 and you call a market crash at 500, and then the SPY goes to 550, and then the SPY goes to 600, and then the SPY goes up to 650, and then the SPY drops down, you know, to 550, you know, and does this big correction. were you right or are you wrong? You're wrong because they're still above where you called the crash at. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the standard I use for it. But again, with all this said, I still think we might correct a little bit next year. I really do. I think we might correct next year. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about, though, guys. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. You know, not an investment professional. Don't copy me. But yeah, I still think we might come down a little bit next year, or at least pull back some. I think it's kind of necessary. People are calling this a crash, which is laughable. Yeah, I mean, again, they just want to be right? They've been calling a crash probably for a while now, and like they just want to be right. And so any small correction of 1%, they're gonna label it a crash, so they can be like, "See, I told you so. You were wrong." But you know, obviously, it's not a crash. A 1% drop is nothing. Like that's normal price action regularly in markets, and we're not going to go straight up, right? Like we've been breaking lifetime highs. The Q especially is up huge percentages. Is the Q up over 50% still this year? Let me see. Okay, the Q was at, no, it's not up. Yeah, so the Q is up huge percentage, but it's not quite 50. Yeah, the Q's up like 40 something percent on the year. So Q's up a lot. I appreciate your input, man, keeping things in perspective without giving advice. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Did Jim Cramer really say that, though, Pawn? Or was that just kind of like an edited thing? That's what I want to know. I saw it, but he couldn't have said it. If he said it, the Cramer curse is legit. Did Kramer delete all his posts? Or do I have to follow Kramer? No, this is fake Kramer. I'm sorry, this is fake Kramer. Is Kramer not around? Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh, he's posting today. No, he didn't say anything. So I don't actually see that post, Pawn. I think it's just a fake post, unless he deleted it. Yeah, so I don't actually think Kramer said it. We got 40 minutes, chat, 40 minutes. We got almost 500 people here. The real question is it time to buy this, or are you guys nervous about buying it? Honestly, my new computer's so quick, dude. It's such a nice computer. I'm super pumped about it. Yeah, I'm looking yesterday. I don't see Kramer posted. Anything about the market going up at the Fed meeting yesterday. Not unless he's on a... Alright, so we had another green day on Top Step X yesterday. Let's see if we can keep it up. Oh, I'm going to be on Top Step TV later, too. Yeah, so another green day on Top Step X. We're now green on the week, which we had like a little bit of a red week. Maybe it wasn't last week. Let me see. 19th to... Yeah. Yeah, here's my stats so far on Top Step X. Right, so this is my stats in the last couple weeks. We have had 3 losing days out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 days we've had 3 losing. So over 80% daily accuracy so far. Yeah, I've heard Paul Felder. I've heard Paul Felder. I've heard Ryan Felipe. I've heard Forrest Griffin. I've heard a bunch of different people, bro. You know, I've heard Forrest Griffin. I've heard Paul Felder. I've heard Canelo Alvarez. You know. Hey, what's up, Ali? Yeah, I bought the dip yesterday too, and I'm actually green. I don't know if we keep dropping. Tax strategies. I probably overpay taxes, to be completely honest. Hey, thank you, Joseph. Alright guys, we got almost 500 people here already. We still got 40 minutes roughly until GDP data, jobless claims data comes out at 8:30 Eastern time. Do you have Tesla levels? I mean, I could look. I don't know where Tesla's going to stop, though. Yeah, Tesla's bounced back almost all the way back up here. Uh, 450, I think, is why. I'm going to preface this. I have no freaking idea what's going to happen. None of these levels are surety. And you always got to make your... None of these levels are, like, certain to hold or bounce or anything like that. Not an investment professional. Not liable if you lose money. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Do not copy me. You might lose money. With that said, another way, I think we got to look at 450. We got to look at the highs of the day. I think we got to look at this level down here at like 440. We kind of got this low at 446 right here, maybe. But yeah, those are the 4 levels I'm looking at right now for Tesla. But I don't know what it's going to do. No idea. It could break these levels and then it doesn't matter. Do we have earnings today? Yeah, I'm nothing big. We got Nike this evening, FedEx, BlackBerry, as well as this also this evening. Where's Palantir at? What did Super Micro end up doing here too? Super Micro is still down. Got booted out the NASDAQ. That's never good. Part of me is honestly kind of tempted to buy the dip here though. If I do, it's tiny size. But we'll see. If I do buy the dip, like I said, it's freaking tiny size. Looking at our poll, 65% are strong for GDP. 35% think the GDP is going to come in weak. So about 65-35. Yeah, I have no idea whether anybody should buy or sell. And the fact that people are asking me whether we should buy or sell shows a genuine lack of experience And I would just caution people not to listen to anybody on freaking YouTube in terms of like investment picks. It's silly. I hope they do that if it were not for the fact that they would. Who are we talking about? Oh, Alvarez and McGregor. Yeah, I hear Connor's gonna fight Logan Paul. Connor's just kind of fell off, man. I talked to somebody that's actually from Ireland, right? That's genuinely from Ireland, like an Irishman, you know. He's dating or talking, like kind of talking to one of my, yeah, just he's to one of my extended family. And he basically says that Connor is like basically like they've turned their back on Connor, like most of Ireland has, after all the stuff going on, you know. So Connor's in a bad spot. I think he's just making dumb decisions, bro. He needs to chill out. Like, honestly, what I truly think, you want me to be real, Connor's an alcoholic, right? And I think that causes so much problems, right? People underestimate how many problems are caused by alcohol. And like, I've been very blessed to not ever struggle with it, ever, right? Like, I've never been an alcoholic. I've never struggled with drinking. I've never liked drinking personally. Like, I'll socially drink if I have to, but I don't necessarily like it. And like, I think what happens is people drink and they drink and they drink and they get addicted to it. And so they end up like having to drink just to feel normal, right? Like, just to feel normal, they got to drink so they don't get sick, right? And then it's hard to stop, because if they do try to stop, they get sick. And like, then they got to drink more and more, and their body becomes more accustomed to it. And before you know it, like, I could never imagine being physically addicted to being inebriated like that, right? Because when people drink, they make terrible decisions. Their decision-making skills go out the freaking window. And like, one of the rules Carol and I even have about like our relationship is like, we never drink if the other one's not around, because alcohol just changes and affects people's decision-making, you know? And so like, I think Connor's just addicted. You know, look at the Tesla stock pop up. Tesla breaking highs. So is the rest of the market following it? Q broke highs again. You love to see it again. I bought this dip here. Shout out to everybody that said the market was crashing. You love to see it. We'll see if it continues. I trade the E-mini sometimes, CC, but not, yeah. Everybody wants to be the mix. You might be a little delayed in the stream, Slee. Hit the live button next to the play button. You might be a little back in the stream, but yeah, alcohol, like, I've known a couple people, bro, that, like, just, like, they're just sloppy when they drink every night and they're sloppy, right? And it genuinely like negatively affects their whole life, but they can't stop. You know what I mean? And like, it's hard to watch, you know? And then I know like even my daughter's has some friends whose parents, they just, everywhere they go out to eat, they want to drink. They bring them to sports bars so they can drink, right? Literally every day, no matter what they're drinking, and I'm just not a big drinker. Like, it's hard for me to hang out with them, you know, because it's hard to relate to people like that. I'm not judging you if you do, but like, I don't necessarily want to hang out every day. What are your thoughts on this Canada? Oh, I don't know. Professional. I don't know anything about that, brother. I don't think that'll ever happen, of course. That seems just to be kind of like rumors. All right, we're almost at 600. Yeah, I'm just now looking at Bulldogs. What's up, Jan? Jan. I don't know if it's Jan or Jan, so either way. Hey, thank you, Beach. I don't know how people can drink like that all the time. I feel like crap when I drink. Yeah, I mean, it's because they're drinking to just feel normal. Right? Like, they just want to feel normal. And that's why, like, I never got caught in that trap. Because I feel normal right now, you know? I just know I would hate to wake up and have to do something to feel normal, right? Yeah. And it just makes people make bad decisions. Does GDP data typically move markets a lot? It depends on which one it is. So it depends on which one it is. All right, so look, honestly, NASDAQ's still pumping up. We bought the dip, remember, yesterday, guys. So we bought the dip. We bought it at 515s. You know, like, think about how many people jumped in the market super short yesterday at 510s, 515s, thinking the market was going to crash, and then we just ended up ripping back. It doesn't mean it's not over yet. I mean, we could always dump today. And I would even say that I'm a little bit bearish into the opening bell, but I might be wildly wrong. I have no freaking idea. But what I do see a lot sometimes, to be honest here, and again, I'm holding a long position, but what I do see sometimes is, like, I see moves like this, and then at the opening bell, something like this happens. Right? And that's something that we do see sometimes. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's something I'm going to be weary of with my current position in the queue. I'm up pretty big. We're in at 516s. All right, we still got 30 minutes left until GDP data drops. 30 minutes. We also have jobless claims unemployment today. All right, chat. All right, chat. All right, chat. Sorry, I'm watching some other stuff go on too. I don't know what I want to do here. I might take another little piece off of my Q trade. Like, I'm looking at the SPY too to see if maybe I can buy some more. But yeah, I'm looking at this. I'm gonna go ahead and take. All right, we just took another little piece off of this just to protect it. Right now, we don't really have to worry about it either way. on the Q. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so we just took the piece off of the Q. Now we don't really have to worry about it. We're up enough in that trade to not stress too much about it. Yeah, I'm looking at other stuff too. Anything else looks good. GDP expected today at 2.9%, guys. 2.9%. How are penny stocks doing, man? All right, we're at 520 still. Let me check the chat. Got liquidated 4K. Careful. What's up, Jeffrey? Are higher jobless claims bullish or bearish? Higher jobless claims is more people filing for unemployment. So I wouldn't really say either one of them is bullish or bearish. I think higher jobless claims, I have no idea, right? No idea how the market's going to respond. Nobody ever does. And this is something I disclaim and preface in almost any type of like look into the future that I do. I would argue right now higher jobless claims is bullish, but it might be wrong and it might be bearish. I don't know, right? What I'm looking at is the Fed Jerome Powell yesterday saying that the labor market showed some weakness. And if the labor market shows weakness, one of the things that can remedy that or at least be a little bit combative towards that weakness in the labor market is less jobless claims. More people working, less people filing for unemployment. Would be less jobless claims, right? So lower jobless claims, the better for the economy. The higher jobless claims, the worse. The higher jobless claims, the more people filing for unemployment, if that makes sense. John, I missed the beginning of the stream yesterday and today. What is your opinion on the drop yesterday? It's just a corrective drop. It's a 1%. We're down about 1% relative to where we were right now. So I'm not saying it's nothing, but it's not a crash like a lot of people are saying. Like people just want to be right who predict crashes. And so not a crash. Market's up 50% this year. And so dropping 1%, it's kind of just normal everyday flow. Again, I told people yesterday that what would matter more so than anything is what Jerome Powell said during the meeting. And so one of the things Jerome Powell said was the labor market was weak, and I'm assuming that's why the market's dropping. Is also that the expected rate cuts for next year decreased from 4 to 2, right? So less dovish Fed in 2025 is potentially making markets fall like this as well. And when the Fed is less dovish, this essentially means that the Fed is going to be when the Fed is less dovish, it essentially means that they're going to be less restrictive in terms of interest rates. So, love you. Have a good day. So yeah, it just means the Fed's going to be less restrictive in interest rates. And so we'll see what that means. But hey, bud. You coming, man? Love you, buddy. Love you, bud. You doing all right? Okay. It's 7:10. All right, dude. Love you, bud. But yeah, so Powell might be less dovish in the future. We don't know. But honestly, the market's bounced back like a third, maybe over a third already. So yeah, tomorrow's quad witching. Do you think people freak out too easily on these drop moves? Yes. I think, again, I talked about it earlier. I think what happens is that people want to be the next big market crash predictor. They want to be contrarian. They want to be predicting of market crashes. And so they overpredict crashes, right? Like Michael Burry overpredicts crashes. People in general overpredict crashes. And again, the biggest edge long term is on the upside, not down. But everybody and their grandmother wants to be the next big short market predictor. And so they put out all these wild predictions of market crashes that almost never happen. And so when we eventually get a move like yesterday, which again, currently we're down 1% relative to where we were, they jump to label that a crash so that they can say, see, I told you so. But it's not a crash. It's not even technically a correction. A correction is 10% plus. This is 1%. And so while it's certainly a drop, it's definitely not like an end of the world, an end of the market, a market crash situation. And it's definitely not something that we can't make up leading into the next few weeks. We could still Santa rally here. But like the easiest way to look at it is on a 4-hour chart. Like this is a 4-hour chart. You know, a funny thing happens when people predict market crashes. Silence. Look how weak the market is. You know, and it's just kind of like, all right. Yeah, that's what it was. Reducing the expectation of rate cuts is probably one of the reasons, as well as weakness in the labor market. Yeah, so in January, if we look at the expectations here for stuff, we are expecting a rate pause in January. But this is always subject to change. Like an example of why this might change, if we get really weak economic data, like if GDP comes in low today, it's more likely that we cut. If inflation comes in under control tomorrow, it's more likely that we cut. I'm not saying it's likely, it's just more likely that we cut. But right now, about 91% likelihood that we pause in January. Alright guys, we still got 20 minutes left, 15 minutes left. Yeah, John, but if that happens, I'm guessing the reaction to that cut is negative. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, it depends on what the data shows, right? The economic data is going to influence how the market responds to rate decisions. I hope people got to stop sensationalizing the market. And I'm biased too, because I get so many people here that I see predict market crashes and they're just super wrong, right? And then they're wrong and they cry manipulation, and then the market keeps pushing up, and then they get kind of mad about it, and then they start kind of lashing out at all the people who told you it didn't have to crash like me, and then they start getting weird, and then they create a new username and they predict a market crash on that username. And then the market doesn't crash and it pushes up against them, and then they get weird again. Like, that's my bias, because that's my experience here. But we could always crash. Crashes are inevitability in markets. Like, eventually it's going to happen. We just don't know when. And most people get when wrong. Just hold? Well, yeah, the best way to make money in markets is just a dollar cost average long term. Alright guys, we're gonna get ready to day trade today too. We got 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Guys. We'll put Top Step up here. All right, we got 13 minutes left, chat. 13 minutes. We got 700 watchers. Have you heard of some boomer gold and silver guy created a meme coin as a joke and he's now worth 20 million? And he's not selling? Oh, sure he's not. Bro, you know how many people that create meme coins say they're not selling ever? Right, bro? Like, listen to this, okay? I'm gonna be real with you about it. All right, you know how many people create meme coins? Like, look at the Hawk Tour girl. The Hawk Tour girl said she wasn't gonna sell either, right? You start seeing those millies roll up. You know, I can't even judge, right? Like, listen, dude, I feel like I'm a good person. I try to be, you know, definitely top 3 greatest ever. But if I created a meme token and I immediately saw the worth of that meme coin, which is, again, essentially a worthless coin. It doesn't do anything. Go 10, 20, 30, 40 million, bro. I'm cutting that too. I'm getting out. You know, I'm gonna take my half or whatever it is and ride off in the sunset. And I think people are honestly being kind of unfair about it because that's the nature of meme coins to begin with. Right, you're mad that a meme coin acted like a meme coin in the Hawk Tua thing. Like, of course she sold, right? Logan Paul did the same thing. Freaking every influencer celebrity does the same thing. You know, why are we gonna act like the Hawk Tua girl's different? Most people are just using it to create content. But you know, like, listen, the whole name of the game in meme coin trading is get in early, sell before somebody rugs it, and that's it. You know, so you can't get mad when people rug pull something that's usually meant to be rug pulled eventually, you know? And so, again, the only thing you just want to be weary of is if you're treating them like they're never going to get rug pulled and that, you know, the person who created it is some beacon of righteousness, I would be careful. I would be careful, brother. Good luck. I hope you make money. Peep his YouTube channel. Yeah, I mean, yeah, good luck to him, I guess. All right, guys, we got 11 minutes left. Beginner trading by 2024 year-end review. This year in 2024, we had 3+ million views, chat. Thanks so much. We had 100,000 likes, 4,000 comments, 10,000 shares. NVIDIA earnings was my best stream with about 14,000 concurrent viewers for NVIDIA earnings. Shout out to it. It had 20,000 hours watched of that video. Yeah. So, cheers to you guys for 2024. Thanks so much for helping my channel grow. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much, guys. Genuinely appreciate it. Hey, thank you, Justin. Beacon of righteousness. Bro, your setup before was better? Well, I think you're probably in the minority there, brother. Love the show. Hey, thanks, Chris. Thank you, Vash. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, I'm going to trade today. I'm waiting for the economic data to come out because an interesting thing happens, guys, and maybe you can make money on it sometimes. But leading into economic data, a funny thing happens. The market starts to chop. Okay, why? Because GDP data drops in 10 minutes. You know, jobless claims numbers drop in 10 minutes. This might influence the market enough where people here don't want to take big positions. And so one of the things you can do is you can attack chop. I'm not telling you to do it. I have no idea if it'll work, but you can attack chop. You can buy the bottoms here. You know, look to get choppiness. Take profit at the top. You know? It's like John Madden's football right there. Look at that thing. No. Yeah, shout out to Pond. Pond helped us manage the stream this year. Shout out to him. Complimentary waters, Aquafinas. Oh yeah, dude. I'm from the South, bro. I drink out of glass jars, dude. Don't judge. You know. Honestly, if I got the option to choose a regular mug or a glass jar, I'm picking the glass jar. You know. You'll probably notice that. I'm usually drinking out of glass jars over here. I'm not actually a hillbilly, right? Like, I am from South Louisiana, you know? I'm not from the mountains of Appalachia. I am from South Louisiana, sir, you know? I was gonna say joint, Biggie, but hey. It kind of looked like one. Yeah, Bobby Boucher's. I'll take Bobby Boucher. That's all right. Gatorade sucks. Water's better. Yeah, how good, Mama Pawn. It's all good. I'm not judging you guys. You know, I'm just a different country. I'm a different type of country. You know. All right, Bitcoin at 103s, 102,000 right now. Q still up big. We bought the dip on the Q. What you doing from Christmas, John? I'm staying home. Hanging out with the family. You know. Opening presents. Alright, chat. 6 minutes here. Guys, 6 minutes. We got about 1,000 people watching. I appreciate the love. Thanks so much. Woo. Alright. Five minutes, chat. 5 minutes. GDP data coming soon. PCE data coming out tomorrow. Inflation data going live. We'll see if this helps or hurts the recent dip in markets yesterday. Can we stop the top 3 and move to top 2 in 2025? No. All right, Chad, 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes, really. My timer's a little bit early, actually, but still. All right, all right, guys, 4 minutes. 4 minutes. GDP data expected at 2.9%. Jobless claims expected at 230K. 230,000. right, guys, we got 3.5 minutes left. Very choppy ahead of this report. 3.5 minutes left. I don't really have any predictions. I don't know what the market's going to do from it. Nobody does. And anybody giving out some type of guess, it's just a guess. All right, guys, GDP PCE data today. We got 3 minutes. Do you think we'll be good on GDP? I think GDP is important. It's expected at 2.9%. If we show weakness in GDP, it might signal more likelihood of rate cuts. If we show strength in GDP, it might signal less likelihood of rate cuts. Or less need, I should say less need to cut rates. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, the market could certainly go down, but nobody freaking knows. What do you think of the way Powell handled the interview? Well, he was very neutral, but he was weak on labor markets, and he lowered the expectations in the FOMC report to 2 rate cuts next year instead of 4, which is what negatively impacted the market. All right, guys, we got 2.5 minutes left. You guys ready? What are your expectations here? Put your expectations for both in chat. Again, as you can see at the very top, GDP is expected at 2.9%. Jobless claims expected at 230,000. You said a few months ago you didn't think he should cut rates. Yeah, I think inflation's going to get worse the more he cuts. And so I was against rate cuts in general, you know. I still kind of am. But I would rather the market go into a recession than us have inflation spikes. Inflation has spiked so much in 5 years that people are still unhappy with it, to where they think we're in a recession when we're not, right? We're just super high inflation over the past 5 years straight. And so people are pretty unhappy about that in general. But the economic situation is not bleak, right? GDP's at almost 3. Unemployment's under 4.5, you know, so we're not showing signs of a recession. Just prices have gone up so much that people are unhappy. And so, yeah, I mean, I think cutting rates too aggressively might make it worse on inflation, not better. As long as we don't pivot to a quantitative easing Fed, I'm okay with it, because QE is really where it gets sticky with inflation. And so we can cut rates as long as we don't inject stimulus, because that's going to make inflation much worse. And that's what made it worse to begin with, is the QE we did to save us from the 2020 recession, as well as stimulus checks, to be honest. Anyways, 30 seconds, chat, 30 seconds. Here we go. GDP data coming soon, 30 seconds. We had the Philly Fed Index as well, chat. So we honestly got a whole gang of stuff coming. 15 seconds here, chat, 15 seconds. 2.8, 2.9% is what I'm showing here. All right, here we go. And here's the report in 5 seconds. Hit the live button next to the play button. Make sure you're fully caught up on stream. Chat, here we go. GDP. And here's the report right here. Okay, jobless claims showed up lower than expected at 220,000. GDP showed higher than expected at 3.1%. Lower jobless claims and higher GDP data at 3.1%. Overall, everything showed a stronger economy than expected. Again, 3.1% GDP versus 2.9, 2.8% expected. 220,000 versus 230K expected. Less people filing for unemployment and higher GDP data is what the report showed. Less people filing for unemployment and higher GDP data, although the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index did show up at -16 versus -3 expected. So weak manufacturing data, but strong everywhere else. Against GDP 3.1 versus 2.8% expected. Jobless claims 220 here. And again, all of this mostly shows a stronger economy than expected here, and less of a need to cut rates next month, to be honest, is what they're going to say. I'll put all this stuff up on screen. Again, GDP 3.1%. Chat, 3.1% GDP. Noticeably stronger than the 2.8 and 2.9% expected here. We'll put jobless claims up too. Jobless claims showed up at 220. Less people filing for unemployment as well. Overall, that's pretty good. There's the data right there at the top of the screen. You can see it. Market honestly hasn't really reacted much to this report, but GDP so strong. Like, this is strong data. You know, again, 3.1% GDP, pretty strong. 220,000, 10K under expected, 10,000 less people filing for unemployment. It's all pretty good. I think the market might react positively to it, especially after the weakness yesterday. But you never know. Honestly, the market can go up, down, or sideways. You never freaking know. Look at that retracement here. All right, guys, GDP is out. Again, 3.1% versus 2.8% expected for GDP. Yeah, I'm looking at everything else. Philly Fed Index. That's potentially happening, Jeffrey. I appreciate the donation, brother. That's potentially happening. And again, we'll see what happens. Guys, market's turning a little bit, although we haven't really moved much at all. Market's kind of neutrally reacting to this report, which is interesting. Again, better GDP data, better jobless claims numbers than expected here. Market's falling from this, though. Interesting. Maybe it means less need to cut rates. The only reason I can think this is because if the market's dropping like this, it's probably because the Fed has less of a need to cut rates, right? If the economy's showing strength and less unemployment filings, higher GDP, why need to cut rates, right? They also could be fearing inflation, right? Because when GDP grows like this and, you know, more people work and spend, inflation can get worse, not better. But again, we'll see. Thanks, Jeffrey, for the donation. I think that's a possible thing, for sure. I think that's a possible thing. Also, guys, if you want to help support your boy here in this channel, check out TopStep. TopStep recently added more ways to protect your account. TopStep, if you want to learn to day trade, do not fund your own account. You're almost certain to lose at least a large portion of it. I lost thousands when I first got started day trading, and most day traders lose. It makes a lot more sense to trade futures because most pro day traders trade futures. The liquidity is better in a lot of ways, and there's no PDT restrictions and less red tape in futures. So you can day trade, buy market, sell market. It is very, very similar to day trading stocks. No PDT rule. And what TopStep does is they give you a demo and they test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $49 for the base one. They give you a 50K demo, and if you can make 3K in profit on that 50K demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K, 90% split. And so the split is similar to funding your own account, but if you lose, you're only out $49 for the base one. So it's the best of both worlds. Limited risk, similar split to funding your own account, and they've paid out over $150 million in the last 4 years. It's just the best way to learn how to day trade because you're still risking something. You're still learning how to trade under pressure. And if you pass it, you get a 90% split anyway. But if you fail, much less risk. And they're an affiliate or sponsor of mine. I'm biased for sure in their favor because I get paid by them. And so I'm definitely biased in their favor because I get paid by them. But if you want to check them out, I'll put the link up. Understand, I'm one of the top 3 most biased traders of all time ever in the world. I do not want anybody to copy me. I might trade off stream. You're not going to see all my trades. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Understand CFTC 4.41. Hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations, guys. And we're going to get ready to day trade right now on TopStep X. We have had some great trades. Look at that rebound here, guys. Wow, look at that move. All the way back up. Yeah, GDP's up there. Look at the yellow at the top of the screen, guys. 3.1% versus 2.8% expected. Better than expected GDP data. I might buy this dip now. Let me see if I can trade. I don't usually trade now. But I'll try. Here. We're going to take one contract. Uno contract here. I just don't trust it enough to take larger than that, to be honest. You don't love to see it, but we're going to give it time. We're already up a ton in the queue, by the way, already. We bought the queue at 515s and 516s, sorry. And it bounced heavy. If we break this low, I got to cut it, even though I think it could bounce back after we break this low, but I just don't like it enough. This is probably the market baking in less rate cuts next year because the stronger economy is, the less of a need to cut rates is what it is. back up some here. All the way back up. I'm going to get out there, even though I might be right. I'm going to get out there so my loss is tiny and it's negligible. I don't know what we're going to do here, but you can see how similar that is to day trading stocks regardless. Like buy market, sell market. I'm just getting in market orders here. Lost $10 there. Not the end of the world. Could be worse. I'm honestly really happy with $10. Even if it ends up moving back up. I don't usually trade in pre-market, so I just kind of have to limit myself. The obsession with rate cuts is bizarre. Wall Street would prefer a weak economy depending on the stimulus. No, rate cuts are stimulating the economy, but this isn't really bad employment data, V. This is good employment data. Jobless claims came in lower than expected, not higher. GDP showed up at 3.1% versus 2.8%. This is better than expected data, not worse, for the economy. And then again, look at the market bounce back up. We're kind of getting chopped. I could have held and made money, but again, I don't usually trade in pre-market. And so my thesis on a bounce was probably correct, but oh, I said at the start of the year, not today. I said, okay, reasonable. I think we could correct next year too, to be honest, right? But I just don't know. Yeah, I should have. No, I never said that. Of course they do, right? Listen, I make money on YouTube. That's what I'm here for, right? Like, I'm not. Look. You got some people here that are just kind of straight up just misleading you guys. They're saying, oh, I'm out of the kindness of my heart. I just like teaching, guys. Like, oh, I just like teaching. Like, cut the crap, bro. Like, get out of here with that. Dude, nobody just likes teaching, guys. I promise you. Like, that's nonsense. I'd rather be real with you guys, and I hope you would respect the fact that I'm real with you guys. I'm absolutely here to make money, and I make money in a lot of different ways from this channel, and that should be understandable. That's life, you know. That's what all people on, you know, that's what we do here. But I provide value and I provide a service. I don't charge for anything. No paywalls behind content at all. Everything's freaking free here. Now, if you want to choose to buy a sponsor, you can. But outside of that, there's no paywalls. Even becoming a member doesn't give you anything special, except for these special emojis. Beardless John. Passion. I'm passionate about stocks, but you're supposed to monetize your passions, to be honest. Like, this isn't Brink. We're not soul skaters here. Okay? What's the other bad team? Team X Blades? I'm on Team X Blades over here, okay? Don't judge me. If you know the reference, you might be old like me. He might have been him, Biggie, you know. Yeah. Brink, the GOAT. The GOAT rollerblading movie of the 90s. Yeah. All right, guys, market's back up. I should have held. Top 3 worst trading moves ever, right there. Yeah, manufacturing did come in weak for sure. Just to put it into perspective, right? So Philly Fed Index came in at minus 16.4 versus 2.9 expected. It's pretty weak. We had 3 different reports dropping today, but honestly, the market's just kind of stagnating here. It's not really doing much. GDP was strong. Jobless claims were strong. Manufacturing was weak. But again, we're just getting so much chop. I don't know what to do with this. At 10 a.m., we also have existing home sales. Tomorrow's the big day, though. Tomorrow's quad witching day and PCE data, as well as like Michigan expectations. Wait, is the market open on Christmas Eve? Market's kind of slow. Weird. What about the next week? Chicago PMI. Case-Shiller. Okay. Yeah, next 2 weeks after this week are very slow, guys. It's the holiday week, so it's very slow. All right, guys, GDP data showed up weaker, or no, I'm sorry, stronger than expected, but the market hasn't really moved. Market's falling down here. We got the 200 exponential. We talked about this a lot in our video yesterday. We do have that 200 EMA spot. We talked about it yesterday in our video. All right, so we got a little dip. I don't know what I want to do with this here. Again, we're down 10 bucks. Market pulling back to the 200 exponential moving average here, but GDP data was pretty good. I'm going to buy this. I'm just going to assume we're going to bounce at the 200 exponential. We're going to try to take a somewhat longer term trade, even though every time I say that, I'm like, yo, I'm going to hold this long term, and then I sell 30 seconds later. So, you know, don't copy me, because I have no idea what I'm going to do. No, I'm not sure, John. Yeah, PCE is tomorrow. That's a big report. Helping the people and make money, it's always great. You're the best. It's when you help the people and you don't make money, you get drained and everybody's losing it. Well, yeah, burnout happens, right? Like, I'm experienced with burnout. Burnout typically happens whenever you're working really hard at something and you don't have the growth that you want it to be, right? Like, burnout's real. It happens. Most people stagnate, you know. So burnout's a real thing, man. It sucks. It's hard to deal with. Will there be a Santa rally or not? I don't know. It depends on what happens. I don't freaking know. Alright, so there we go. Popping up a little bit. Let's get a little bit more here. Kind of want to add to this now. I think I might. Alright, 2 contracts now. Don't you do it to me. Yeah, don't you. You better not. Alright, we took half of that off, locked it in. Not the best fill here, but that's okay. We got a little cushion now that we can play with. Green on the day now, so that's good. I'd like a little bit more here, but it's not really giving it to me. Alright, so we're out. We're green, but slightly flat on the trade. Took a little bit longer than I wanted. That 200 exponential, man, I'm telling you, it's a milestone level you probably want to watch. On a 1-minute chart is where I find value in it, but everybody's different. Now look at that pop up. I should have held it a little bit longer, but we're green on the day now, which is good. I can't. Do you think holidays will cause higher PCE data? Maybe. You know, like the big ones year over year, I would say it's expected at 2.9%. Regular is expected at 0.2%. And this is for the month of November. And so, I mean, I don't know. I think it could cause it, but its seasonality is taken into context with year over year data anyway, you know. We got existing home sales today, but PCE data and quad witching day is tomorrow. So. All right, so we dropped all the way back down. I don't know where they want to buy it back up here. Here's Bitcoin. Let's see if we continue here. And then we retrace right back up. Look at that. Bro, if the data is out, what are we doing here? Well, we're about to watch John day trade the market. CarMax posts first quarterly sales rise in over 2 years, shares are jumping on CarMax as well. Also, give me a follow on X, at Beginner Trades, on X. We should have a Twitter thing. Hold on, let me find it. Give your boy a follow here. I appreciate it. He goes all the way back to when it was called Twitter. And again, we're going to day trade live at the opening bell. Be ready, Chad. Be ready. We got 40 minutes left. Yeah, I'm going to be able to Top Step TV at 11:15 Central. So, what is that, noon Eastern? All right, guys. Such a strong overnight session. It's hard to imagine another big sell-off today. I mean, anything can happen, right? Like, one of the things that we get during holidays is volatility. And so we get volatility. It's not always big on the upside or downside, but we generally get some volatility in the holidays. A lot of the time is for the better. So, like, a lot of the time it's a Santa rally where the market goes up. And, like, people are trying to act like I told people we weren't going to drop yesterday, and that's not what I said at all, right? Like, I told people that we weren't going to crash yesterday, which we didn't, and that if you're predicting a big old market crash every freaking FOMC meeting, you're probably a rookie, right? And in fact, really, guys, like, look, I saw, look at this. So here's a short that I did. I did this short. Hold on, let me find it. I did this short a couple days ago. Just listen to it. All right, just listen to this short. All right, let me find the. All right, listen to this short. All right. Santa rally, where markets rally leading into the holiday. Leading into this holiday, sometimes we get what's called a Santa rally, where markets rally leading into the holiday of Christmas. Now, this one's an incredibly important week because we have the FOMC decision this week, and that might really add some extra boost to either markets on the upside or downside. Right. See, so I even told people that, like, the FOMC meeting might make markets go up or down above average, right? Like, it's not like I was saying the market was going to go up from the FOMC meeting. I was telling people that the market can go up or down above average during these FOMC meetings. And so the market volatility is here from the FOMC. It generally happens, as well as, like, there's volatility that we get from Christmas. But it doesn't have to be on the upside. It doesn't have to be on the downside. Right now, what we're seeing is slightly down action. We're down about 1% from yesterday. But it's just not a crash. It's not a correction. It's just kind of a small dip. Now, look at us test the 200 exponential moving average. This is a big spot that I'm watching here. Part of me wants to buy this dip, to be honest. But I'm going to wait. Wash sale, real tax harvesting might cause some selling at the end of the year too. That's possible as well. Part of me wants to buy this dip. I'm buying one contract here. We might add to two and then use the bottom low here as a risk level. Two contracts. I don't like this already. I'm going to take half off. I don't like that at all. Even if it bounces back, I just too much risk. We're kind of going back and forth. We're flat. All right, so now we're completely flat on the trade. So a big rebound back up. 2 contracts now. I like the move back over the 200 exponential for confirmation. So we got 2 contracts here, but tomorrow's PCE data, so I don't know if we're going to get big volatility today or not. It's hard to tell. Market could wait for it because of PCE. But if we dip under this 200 EMA, I got to cut it. Still kind of holding it, but yeah, we got to cut that. All right, so we got out. We ended up losing 30 bucks there maybe, but we were already up on the day, so we're probably down like 15 now, which could be worse. I'm probably trading too early in pre-market. Usually I never trade in pre-market, so I probably should just wait until the start of the day. People don't want to pay for taxes for the profits they want to see. Yeah, tax harvesting is when people unload their losing positions to have realized losses so that they pay less taxes and realized gains. It's called tax harvesting. Yeah, we're on a green streak too on this account, so I don't want to give too much back, in all honesty, right? Like, we are on a green streak. Let me see how many green days we've had in a row today. We've had 3 green days in a row. And so I don't want to give it back too much. All right, we just added a little bit back to our QQQ swing trade as well. Took a little bit more. Hey, what's up, Tiny? Good morning, good morning. Wait, did I have an Amazon link up? Where'd it go? All right, so we bought that little dip in the queue just now. We added some size back. We'll see if we get a pop. Yeah, I'm looking at these. All right, so we are breaking down a little bit. I'm gonna wait now. I'll stay in my Q position because that's insignificant, but we're still up, big in it. But I'm gonna wait to day trade this to see if we get some confirmation in a trend. Tesla's pretty much flat. What's Nvidia doing? I haven't really looked at Nvidia today a lot. We're at 131.60s. So Nvidia's kind of choppy today too. Bitcoin's up still. We don't know. Tallahassee, we really don't know, brother. We don't know why the market's dropped. It's probably because less need to cut rates aggressively. And one of the reasons the market originally dropped was because they reduced the rate cut expectations to 25 from 4 to 2. And so stronger economic data like lower unemployment filings as well as higher GDP signals less need to cut rates. And so that probably is what this has to do with, is rate cuts. Yeah. All right, chat. So we're going to switch to a day trading stream now. So we got GDP data out. We got jobless claims data out. Both of them showed stronger economic data than expected here. We're going to be live day trading NASDAQ futures. All right. All right, market's kind of popped all the way back up here too, testing that 200 exponential moving average. We'll see if it holds. You know, we talked about this yesterday. We'll see if it holds now over this level. We got to just be smart and wait. I don't think they're going to raise rates next year. I mean, Jerome Powell, one of the questions they asked Powell was whether we're going to do rate hikes next year. And he said it's not likely as of today, but that might change. But as of today, it's not likely is what he said. So... we have existing home sales today, but the big data release for the rest of the week is PCE data. Remember, guys, tomorrow we have quad witching, which is a day of historical volatility in which major contract types expires. Technically not 4 contract types, it's only 3, but they still call it quad witch. But we have single stock options, equity options, and single stock options, index options, and index futures all expiring tomorrow. So it's quad witching or triple witching day, whatever you want to say. That is tomorrow, guys. We also have personal consumption expenditure. When you're watching inflation data, the Fed looks at PCE, specifically core PCE inflation. All right, that's what the Fed looks at. That's what the Fed watches. That's probably what you want to watch tomorrow, too. We're going to stream it all live here at 8:30 like we always do. Stagflation, which means high inflation and weak economic activity. I don't know. We're not really seeing the stag and stagflation, brother. You know, like stagflation would signal weak GDP, weak, jobs numbers, right? And GDP came in noticeably higher than expected today, right? So just to put this into perspective for everybody at home, stagflation means weak economy and high inflation, right? So I mean, it's the worst of both worlds. Weak inflation, bad inflation, bad economy data, right? Today we got good economy data, and the inflation's honestly reasonable. The last number we got. Look at that big pop up. So be adding where I did. You love to see it. We're gonna go ahead and unload a piece of this now too again. Yeah, there really is. Mama pawn, 100%. There's always one. Yeah, people are talking about MU. MU did great from their earnings, popped up. Or maybe not. Maybe they didn't do great. But they're up this morning. They fell yesterday. Huh. Where did they fall from? 105s. So they're back up some. Look at this rebound here too. And remember, guys, we added to our position here. I'm going to take a little bit more off. We're just kind of like... I thought we might bounce there. We did. I'm trying to take a little piece off there. There we go. Just locked it in. Cool. You were right, but it's obviously getting weaker. In what regard? In what way, I mean? How? I'm not saying you're wrong, but explain it. If it's getting weaker, and what numbers do you see that are weaker than normal? Because it's not GDP. GDP is above average and at 3+% versus the expected 2.8, 2.9% today. Jobless claims numbers were lower than expected, which means that less people filed for unemployment. Again, stronger economic report. So, I mean, in that regard, I guess it just depends on where you're talking about. All right, guys, we got 20 minutes until the market open. The market's rebounding back up some too here. Historically, it's quad witch day, usually bearish. I mean, I don't know. Let me look back. This is where AI can come in handy. Look back at the last 20 quad witching days of the market and tell me how many were red or green percentage wise. There's no definitive pattern, it says. While some studies suggest a slight bearish tendency on quad witch, the performance is not consistent or negative or positive. For instance, in 23, the S&P showed the following price changes on quad witching day. They were all negative, averaging a 0.7% change, which is nothing, right? 0.7% is nothing. The market's direction on these days can be influenced by various factors. What about 2024's instances of it? Let's take a look. So it says I can't look at the data for it. Yeah, it doesn't actually give me the data behind it on quad witching days. I think they rose roughly 0.27% and 0.23% on the quad witching days, but it varies. Okay, so I'm gonna have to back test this manually. Was the SPY red or green on? Okay, so a slight decline on the first day. Now we're looking at June 21st. Again, another slight decline. So it looks like usually on quad witching day we have small pullbacks, but it's nothing big. Like this is like 0.3% or something. Yeah, decline. So usually we get a small dip on quad witching day, and so then tomorrow is the last one. Interesting. Alright, so C3AI got a downgrade. Analysts citing concerns about subscription revenue growth. Alright, chat. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Market's still pushing up, so that dip buy I did in the queue, you'll love to see it. Bitcoin up a little bit today also. Still green on my Bitcoin positions. Alright, so we're popping up somewhat here. Has anybody ever tried these projectors? Are they cool? How's the quality of projectors though, I guess? I wouldn't mind a projector. I think that would be kind of cool. Vote for open, high, or low. Yeah, let me end this poll. We'll do another one. Are we bullish or bearish at the opening bell is what we'll ask. I'm just gonna write bull or bear because I don't have time to get the emojis. But there you go. There's the poll right there. Let me know how you feel. All right, guys. Yeah, so we're still heading up. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing a little bit last minute Christmas shopping over here on Amazon. So my bad, chat. Hey, bro, how does taxes work for Top 7? They send you a W-2 or what? You're an independent contractor, so they send you a 1099, probably. They do for me. Yeah. Head and Shoulders incoming. Yeah, I like Head and Shoulders patterns. Honestly, my Q dip works really well. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'll probably end up taking another little piece of this off heading into the opening bell just because I don't want to hold through the open. And we've already made enough money on it to where I don't have to worry about it. All right, so we're dipping down a little bit now too. All right, chat, we got the opening bell in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right, guys, we freaking Canada. Sorry, Canadians. Alright, guys. I don't want it to be a reprint. Alright, so we're still pushing up on that NASDAQ dip buy. NASDAQ's still going up. NVIDIA's up to 132s. MU at 9150s here, chat. 9150s. Have to mess with natural gas? No, not really. I'm not really a big natural gas trader. Looking for a higher low on a 1 minute gold. Where's gold at today? I haven't really looked at it. That dip on the NQ worked beautifully, though, that I bought just now. NVIDIA forever. Yeah, we'll see what NVIDIA does. Why is it always shipping from Canada, man? Nothing against Canadians, but it's too far away. It's gonna take too long. All right, guys, market's still shooting up some, bouncing all the way back up here after positive GDP data, lower jobless claims unemployment filings. Whoa, what have I done? Okay, there we go. How can I message? All right, guys, here we go. I'm sorry I'm not talking a lot. We're going to day trade at the opening bell, so just stick around. We'll be here. Where's my email? My wife let the dogs in. I can hear them scurrying around. Hey, baby, how you doing? Ice cream. All right, guys, market's pushing up. Carol's here. Say hey, baby. Sorry, you're in a green screen right now. You can turn the green screen off. Some people complained about the green screen. So Carol's here, guys. Market's shooting up a little bit. You all right? Yeah. All right. What you doing today? Sorry, guys. Like my eBay account apparently. Look at the market rip up more. My eBay account apparently. It says I violated policies, dude. I haven't even bought anything. I literally have no negative feedback. What did I do? The only thing I ever bought on eBay was like shipping supplies too, man. I don't know what the heck is going on there. All right, market's about to open up. We got 3 minutes. trying to figure out what eBay policies I violated. I don't even have any listings. I don't even sell anything, ever. Yeah, I've never sold anything. All I've done is buy things, and I've got 100% positive feedback. Look at the market rip up. About to break highs of the day here, 2 minutes before the opening bell. Seller account. Your account has been suspended. For what? I don't have a balance. Didn't even let me. That's weird, dude. That's freaking strange. I don't know if somebody tried to like hack into my eBay account or what, but no longer a registered user. Super weird, dude. eBay. I know I'm muted. I was talking to Carol, guys. Market's ripping up, though. Look at this. About to break lifetime highs right before the opening bell. We got 30 seconds left, chat. 30 seconds left. Don't cry about it, mirrored smoke. You'll be all right, dude. eBay? 40-year-old? What about it? Yeah, I was gonna say change the passwords. Yeah, I don't even know what was going on. I changed the password here. But, it's just weird, dude. Alright, I don't know, maybe that helped. Alright, guys, there's the opening bell. Why in the world is there a restriction on my account? Dude, I've never bid on anything. I've never done anything, dude. It's just odd. Move to contact eBay directly. All right, so markets dipped down a little bit after the opening bell. Nvidia down some too. Tesla pushing up though. Nasdaq pushing up still too. Let me check my email address about eBay. All right, guys, market's ripping a little bit. Yeah, dude, I don't even have any emails from eBay. All right, guys, market's up a little bit. Broke opening bell highs. Now let's see if we dip down some here. You sent a note to John. No, you didn't. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to contact eBay. All right, so market's up, down, kind of flat. Nvidia dipped a little bit into the opening bell, and now it's bouncing back some here. We are going to day trade live. It looks like a reversal coming through here. So if we get a decent pullback, I will buy this dip in markets. We just need a pullback here. And I don't think we're going to get one, not at least so far. And again, if you want to check out Top Step, we're day trading on Top Step today. No PDT rule. Here's one. We'll buy this dip. No PDT rule in futures. You can day trade. Sure, you can see how similar this is to day trading stocks. Look, we got 2 contracts. It's a little bit close to the opening bell for me to trade, but that's all right. But we got 2 contracts in here, and we are just getting dumped down. Now we're back up. I'm going to take half of that off just to protect it. I don't like it. There's no PDT in futures, though, so you can see how similar this is to day trading stocks. No PDT in futures. I can buy market, sell market, all that good stuff. No PDT restrictions. See, now we're ripping back up here, too. Weird. See if we hold. I don't know if I want to buy this or not. See, Tesla's down, though. The NASDAQ looks like it's fading down, too. I'm going to cut that, too. Yeah, I would be careful today, guys. Market's kind of choppy at the opening bell. I got to wait now and just try to let this thing play out first. But if you want to check out Top Step, again, no PDT in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. And the patterns are super similar to blue chip stock patterns, just no PDT restrictions. Top Step gives you a demo. They test your skill with it. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $49 for the base one. They give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit on that 50K demo without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, here's the link right there. Check it out. Yeah, I'm going to turn the music down a little bit. It's a little bit too loud for me. Yeah, look, I'm not even picking this music out. If you don't like the song, I'll change it. This music's just on the generic playlist for lo-fi hip-hop on the source I has for it. But if you don't like it, we can change it. Just don't cry about it. Who cares that much about it? It's just lo-fi hip-hop. That's all it is, which is what most people in trading listen to. Yeah, it's weird. Like, eBay never sent me a message or anything, dude. It's honestly kind of weird. I gotta look at my spam, maybe. But I think they restricted my account because they thought that I was somebody else. Let's look at my spam. I don't see it there either. We changed your eBay password for security. A new device using your account that we don't know. So yeah, they think I'm a bot or something. Oh well. All right, look at the dip now. So again, market's fading back down some now too. I'm gonna get out of my my NASDAQ dip in profits. So we are in profits now on this trade. We made a crap ton of money on it, and so we will take that. But I'm gonna get out now. I just don't trust it. Oh, sorry guys, the disclaimer's in my face. Top 3 best disclaimer ever right now, blocking the views. Yeah, the only problem now is I got to get in touch with eBay saying, hey, like I looked at my purchases. Contact us. All right, so market bounced up a little bit. I tend to want to short this, but we could also get chopped, but I'll try to short it here. See if we get a flush. There we go. All right, well, we just made a little bit, but terrible fills, but we made something. That's better than nothing, I guess. We're not really down that much. I'm going to short this again. And then maybe add to this too. There we go, 2 contracts here. The volatility that we're getting, honestly, today is pretty heavy. There we go. Took a little bit more off there, lock it in. Took a little bit more off there, lock that in. Not too shabby, we'll take that too. All right, get into a little bit of a string of things here. We're day trading on Top Step today. Bro, eBay, the worst company out there right now. It's to say contact us immediately. All right, so now we're bouncing back up a little bit. I still kind of want to short this, and I should have shorted it because it's breaking back down now. All right, at least there's an option to chat with an agent. All right, so now we're breaking down a little bit here. I don't know what I want to do. I'll try shorting this too. We can catch something here from this. All right, we just made another little bit. So far, so good. Looks like we got out in time too. Look at this rebound back up. It's kind of weird, man. Again, GDP data came in strong, and so it's possible that we have like a big reversal back up there. I would just be careful. Yeah, I mean, I don't sell anything on eBay. You know, like literally sell nothing. All right, so we have rebounded all the way back up. We could chop. It's possible we chop here as well. I'm not sure. Gold. Where's gold at? Gold's down. Weak. They temporarily suspended it until we verify your information. Sorry, eBay's sending me a bunch of messages. They basically say, okay. Now I gotta deal with eBay this morning. Great. All right, so now we're breaking all the way back down here, chat. All right, guys, market's testing lows again here. Oh my gosh, dude. Bro, eBay is the worst people. He said, hey, I'm not rushing you. I'm just trying to check to see if we are still connected. I sent him a message saying it's all good. I'm trying to follow these steps before we disconnect the call or disconnect the chat. He immediately disconnects it. Like, dude, eBay is freaking horrible, bro. Honestly, Amazon ate their lunch. That's probably why. Honestly, I'm not telling you to short eBay. I would never recommend you guys short eBay, you know, but I definitely ain't buying them. Honestly, in his all right, guys. All right, market's super flat, guys. Just be careful. Back up over the 200 exponential. Nvidia's rebounding back up. Tesla's up to 449s here. All right, remember, guys, I'm going to be on Top Step TV later on today. Yeah. Honestly, guys, I don't know what to do here. We're gonna buy this dip. See if we can catch a pop. Hello?
Call back request from this number to maintain the security of your account and our site.
It's John London, JOHNLONDON. All right, sorry guys, I'm on the line with eBay trying to get this straight. I don't know whether I should short the market. It's kind of, and the market's kind of flat right now, so it's not really doing much. Kind of going choppy and sideways here, and so I've been kind of making some money back, so we're not doing bad. Honestly, we're kind of flat on the day as well, but yeah. I kind of want to short this, but it's also at the bottom of the range of the day here. So who knows what we're going to get. All right, guys. Who knows what we're going to get today. Market's starting to flush down somewhat, though. Nvidia's trying to get back up there. Tesla up there, too. What else is relevant here? Tesla, Apple, maybe. Here's Apple. Apple at 248s. We're watching that. All right, so now we're starting to flush down to the bottom of the range here. The question is, do we continue to rip down? I'm not sure. Ever mess with meme coins for funsies? No. No, I don't. Honestly, I just avoid it. Remember, we're going to be on Top Step TV at 11:15 market time. Yeah, so apparently they're trying to like... Okay.
So just please stay on the line, sir, for a moment.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm on the phone with eBay. I had to answer 3 random questions about me. They asked me if I knew a Claude London, and I said no. And so apparently that's good enough to verify old Johnny over here on eBay. We'll see what happens now. Market's kind of flushing down, testing these lows here. We'll see if we get some more bearish or red action. I don't know what we're going to get. We're green. We've been making money in the last few trades at least. We're still a little bit red on the day, though, because we lost so much on this little string of trades here. But that's okay. I'm not expecting to be green every day. And, yeah. And again, if you want to check me out on Top Step, great way to learn how to day trade. Limited risk, no PDT rule in futures. You can day trade the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Dow, the Russell, gold, some currencies. Nope, that's everything. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Very welcome. So since you're all set, sir, thank you so much for calling eBay customer service. Have a great day, sir.
You as well. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Alright guys, so my eBay account's back up apparently. Market's bouncing back up a little bit here. Remember, a top 3 worst trader of all time. Do not copy me. I'm not an investment professional, but if you want to check out Top Step, it's a great way. It's a perfect middle ground of pressure, where if you lose, it's not the end of the world. You're out $49 for the base one. If you pass it, you get 50K funded account, 90% split. The good thing about Top Step X, if you look at this, is that there's no commissions and only a tiny amount of fees per contract. So I can make 10, 20, $3, $5 and still net profit a lot of the time, which is a powerful thing. If you want to check it out, link is in the chat. No PDT rule. They paid out over 150 million since 2020. Understand all these rules though, and that are covering half my face here. And we'll see if we can go green on the day, but I'm gonna buy this dip here. Don't do it. Yep, go up. All right, guys, so we took this position. Let's see if we can make some money here. All right, another little gain there, man. We've been doing okay. Like, slowly making money on this, but we'll see if we continue to do it. Not bad, not bad. Remember, tomorrow's PCE inflation data, chat. PCE inflation data is tomorrow. We're almost to 152,000 subscribers, chat, so I'm not going to pressure you to sub, but you should. Also, we posted a video about our strategies that we use in the market. Even though we're a little bit red today, we've made money most days in markets, I think. So if you want to check that video out, here is the link. You can check out my strategy video there. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I'm gonna be on Top Step TV at 11:15 today Central Time, so 12:15 Eastern, around noon. I'm gonna be on Top Step TV. And then remember, PCE and quad witching day tomorrow, guys. Market's kind of choppy and flat. I don't really see much edge here, to be completely honest. So I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Remember, top 3 worst trader. Do not copy me. You might lose if you do. Always vet everything outside of me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, fart corn going crazy right now. We got existing home sales, I think, at 10. But that's not really going to do anything. I mean, I could sit around for the next minute and cover existing home sales. I guess I will. They expected a 4.09 million. They're just not really a big release, but I'll cover them. That's fine. Thank you, John, for you and the fam, the whole chat. Hey, thanks, Tiny. Got to go do puppy stuff. Good luck, Sam. Have a great day. So, do they unlock my account yet, dude? Freaking eBay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're back. Let me contact you. Yeah, I want to contact the seller. Yeah. All right, guys. So new existing home sales about to drop right now. They showed up at 4.15 million, higher than expected new home sales at 4.15 million versus 4.1 million expected. 4.8% increase in existing home sales month over month. Yeah, so that's the other data that came out. Again, a little bit better than expected existing home sale real estate data here. And I'm going to get out of here. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Y'all join our Discord. It's completely free. Follow me on X at Beginner Trades. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you guys later. Be good. I have no idea what I'm talking about.